So capitalism is about to crash and burn, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you what these big companies and these big corporations can do to save it. Well, here's the thing. The people in control of corporate America and the world and capitalism in general, they inherited this wealth and these positions of power from generational wealth. You know, they got it from their father, who got it from their father, who got it from their father type of situation. And therefore, they didn't earn being at this top spot. And so now we have this entire world being controlled by these people that just kind of, this wealth and power fell into their lap. And they haven't studied capitalism enough, and they're not smart enough to realize how to do it right. And I'm no defender of capitalism in any way, shape, or form, but they're not doing it right. Okay, like, these people are greedy, so their idea is, well, let's use inflation, quote unquote inflation, to keep driving the prices of everything up. And then they never increase the wages. So their whole thing is, they're like the dumb thief that's got their hand in the cookie jar, and they're trying to grab as many cookies as they can while that cookie jar is there. While their hand is in the cookie jar, that's all they care about, is getting as much as they can as fast as possible. They're not thinking about they're not smart enough to think of any more of a self-sustainable system than that. So it's all about getting as much as they can, as fast as they can, and just, putting it in the bank and turning it into gold and, converting it into this and that. So if they were smart, they would realize that the only way for capitalism to be successful, and the only way for them to make money and to make the most money possible, is to lower the prices of everything and increase the wages that everyone gets. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Purchasing power is the only thing that fuels capitalism in any way, shape, or form. And if you take away purchasing power, and if you take away expendable income, then you're dooming every single corporation, no matter how big they are, to failure. And that's the reality of the situation, is that when you have, like, let's say you're Netflix, and in this horrible economy where eggs cost, $15 for a dozen eggs, and everything's just going up every week, the prices in the stores are going up and everything's going up, and you're asking them to continue to pay $20 for Netflix, the majority of people are going to have to cancel their Netflix subscription. If they're looking at it and they're saying, what am I going to have, Netflix or breakfast? When everything at the grocery store takes up all their money and there's no expendable income left, things like Disney Plus and Netflix and video games and going to movies and all these like luxuries, they cease, they stop. Okay. So you have these companies now like Disney Plus, and they are hemorrhaging subscribers from Disney Plus. And they're like searching internally for, what did we do wrong? Oh, was it we did too many Marvel shows? Or was it because we were too woke? Or was it because of this or that? And it's like, no. Sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes you have to look externally that, hey, this is the economy's. This is the economy's fault. All right? When we're living in an economy where there's no expendable income and the price of everything goes up, you can't buy luxuries. You can't buy streaming services. You can't buy cable TV. You can't go out to the movies anymore. You can't go out to eat at the restaurants anymore. Everything fails. it's like a death blow to all corporations, including the giants like Disney and Sony and Microsoft and all these like mega corporations that depend on people, you know, having money. So in reality, these mega corporations like Disney and Microsoft and all these big corporations should be out there lobbying and using their leverage to get federal politicians and state politicians who are in control to increase wages, like increase the federal minimum wage to $30, you know, put a cap on inflation, say that no matter what, prices cannot increase more than 10 cents every 2 years. You know, it's just a simple rule like that to cap inflation. And what you're going to see is all these corporations are going to make money hand over fist. If there's more money in circulation, more money is being spent. All right. So, like, if someone, the more expendable income someone has, the more everything flourishes. Restaurants, Disney, corporations, everything, hotels, vacations. When people are living paycheck to paycheck, they can't go on vacations. They can't go here. They can't go there. They can't do this. They can't do that. Okay? So we're either dealing with a bunch of incompetent idiots who are just don't know what they're doing, or we're dealing with a bunch of people who are intentionally trying to crash our economy for some reason. That they're, because either, like I said, either they're asleep at the wheel and completely incompetent, or they're doing it on purpose. They're trying to crash us. They're trying to drive us off the road. Okay? Because it's unsustainable. Like I said, like Netflix. Would Netflix rather make $200 by charging 10 people $20 a month? So, or would they rather lower the entire price of everything down to $6? That's their top tier. There's only one tier for Netflix, $6. And instead of only 10 people signing up for that money and making 200, you got 100 people. Okay? So now you got $700 instead of $200 just because you lowered the price. All right? This is a concept that these capitalists that are in control of shit do not understand right now. Okay? The more you lower the price and the more money is in people's wallet, the higher their wages, the lower the prices, the more money every corporation makes. Like, you're going to understand there's no trickle-down economics, okay? The entire economy is nourished from the ground up. The entire economy. Capitalism itself it's watered from the ground up, not from the top down. Okay, so without expendable income, with no control and cap on inflation, with no increase in wages, we are being driven off the cliff, and everybody's going to go with us. Disney, Microsoft, all these mega corporations are going to go right off the cliff with everybody else. All right? And that's it. So unless people like Disney and all these corporations start fighting for the federal minimum wage to be raised, fighting for a very serious, legitimate cap on inflation is enforced, and that's the only way to save the economy. That's the only way to save capitalism, quite honestly. So you have to ask yourself, is our entire economy being operated by incompetent fools, or are they intentionally trying to create these conditions so that everybody will be living in abject poverty and there will be no wealth for anyone? You don't understand. The wealthier everyone is, the wealthier everyone is. Okay? The more poor people are, the more poor everyone is. Like, see, that's where these capitalists go wrong, is they're selfish. They only care about themselves. And when they do that, they make less money because they're trying to hoard wealth, and they don't understand that it's a secular process, that it's an exchange of energy. You have to, you can't just take. You have to put back in to get more back out. Okay, if you cut off the energy flow so it's just accumulating on you like a tick on a dog's back, yeah, you're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, but you're going to burst because eventually nothing's coming to you because you're not giving back. All right? And so, capitalists out there, listen, heed my advice. Lower your prices. Lobby to have wages increased on a federal and state level. Lobby to have inflation capped, or you're all in trouble. Okay? You'll all go down. No one will be able to afford movie tickets anymore, or streaming services anymore, or stays at resorts, or this or that, or any luxuries. It's all going bye-bye unless you do what you can to stop this, okay, and fix this, because the only way to make money, the only way for these corporations to exist is from the bottom up. They need to be hydrated from the bottom up. And if the bottom is dehydrated, the top's going to die off. Okay? Like, that's the economy, and capitalism is like a plant. It's like a plant, okay? And these people that are at the bottom, they're the roots. They're the most crucial part that's keeping the top at the top. Okay? And when it rains, it goes through those roots and the water goes up. The water goes up to the top. Okay? So the only way for that top of the plant to stay alive is for there to be good hydration at the bottom, so that when it gets to the top, it keeps it going, okay? But with this system, where the economy is so bad that there's no expendable income, there's no cap on inflation, and the wages never go up, but the prices of everything are going up, no, it's over. Doesn't matter how good your product is. You could come up with the best streaming service in the world, the best movies ever, the best video games ever. It doesn't matter. People can't afford it. When it comes down, you can't eat a video game. You can't eat. Disney Plus is not going to put food on your table. Okay? So get with it, capitalists. Get with it, y'all, because you're about to lose everything. If you don't act fast, if you don't make sure everybody is getting a minimum wage of $30 minimum, if you don't fight to put a cap on inflation so that no product can go up more than 10 cents every 2 years, if you don't fight for that, everything you own is going to be gone. Okay? If the roots of your plant that are propping you up are dehydrated, the whole thing's going to crumble. The whole thing dies. It all starts from the bottom. Okay, so get with it. Get with it. Fight. Because the wealthier everyone is, the wealthier everyone is, including you. The more poor everyone is, the more poor everyone is, including you. Never forget that. Capitalism isn't about greed. It's not about selfishness. It's a system. It's an exchange. And you get what you give. You get back what you put in. Okay? And that's what a lot of these capitalists, these greedy capitalists do not understand, is that they can't sit there and hoard wealth. The wealth has to be a circular system. It has to be a cycle, or else it's never going to build up. Okay? And you're going to end up with what you have now, which is a bunch of dry roots that are dehydrated and not able to give you the hydration that you so desire with your greed. So never forget, the more rich everyone is, the more rich everyone is. The more poor everyone is, the more poor everyone is, including you. I'm your friend forever, Evan LeFavor. Bye-bye.